Yo guys, what's going on today? It's your boy KXVI. I'm going to be teaching you how to make some R&B kind of Summer Walker vibes. Album just dropped. It's super fire. I'm excited to show y'all this sample. It's going to be down below for you to download for free. Use the code KXVI30, KXVI30 on loopstash.com. You can get all my kits there for 30% off. First thing I started out with was this guitar riff I played. I recorded it on my phone actually. Alright, so yeah, that's the dry voice note. What I did was I put on Waves NS1, which is a noise suppressing plugin, and I just got everything on time and got the loop how I wanted it. This is what it sounds like after that. So it's not sounding the best. It's a little bit, sounds a little unprofessional, the recording. So I wanted to kind of drown it out in this mix a little bit. First thing I added was this decimort, just to kind of get rid of some of the frequencies. I added a RC20, the Vinyl 2 preset. I added an EQ to cut out the low end. I added this Arturia chorus, and also I added this phaser. After all that and some pitching, this is what the guitar sounds like. Alright, so the next thing I did was add this bass line. It's just following the root notes of that progression. And this is what that sounds like. This bass is from my Omnisphere bank, link in the description as well. And you can use that discount code. And as you can see here, I added a little bit of transition notes. This note is actually out of key, but if you put a half step until the next note, it creates that little tension, and sometimes that's fire in R&B sample. The next thing I did was I added some perk loops, textures, that kind of stuff, because you need that for these R&B vibey kind of samples. All the accents and the perks and stuff, they sound like this. They sound pretty weird on their own, but pretty much what I did, just grabbed this one perk loop, layered it with another perk loop, I found this little sprinkle one shot. It sounded kind of weird, but sounds dope. I added this texture, pretty much just some white noise. I added these chimes. And then the last little accent I added was this little synth hit. It's just kind of like a descending bend sound. And that just plays at the end of 16 bars. For effects on those, I pretty much just used reverb, sometimes decimort to cut out some frequencies. Pretty straightforward on those. The next element I added was this vocal. It's not really that crazy, but it just adds some texture to the sample. I chopped this little riff out of a splice loop, and this is what it sounds like dry. I took decimort, cut out some frequencies, put an RC20. This magnitude transition 1 is fire for vocals. I added a shaper box onto it to give it some sidechain, and then I also added a phaser from Arturia. That sounded like this. So it's just pretty in the back vibey. I just bounced that, pitched it up an octave, pitched it down an octave here and there, and then I reversed it, and that's how I got this final chop. Pretty much at this point in the sample, it was kind of done, but I felt like it needed more energy at a certain part. So what I did is I added this piano from Keyscape, just the softest LA custom. I cut out some lows on it. I just added this RC20 with some reverb. This is what the MIDI looks like and sounds like. And it's really super simple. What I did is I inverted the chords a bunch to match kind of the tone that the guitar was at, because the guitar isn't playing them so linear. Next part I did, I took that same piano and I just reversed it, and then I added this EQ right here, took out some of the harsh frequencies in the low end, and then I added a decimort to take out almost all of the high end, so it's just like a kind of a background sound. And I used this for a little breakdown at the end. This is what it sounds like. So yeah, at this point, all I did was stemmed out the sample at the end, left a little bit of space in between everything so that if there's reverb, it can carry over without bleeding into the next sound. Bounced it to audio, and then I pitched it down 1, and altogether it sounds like this. For a little variation, I also added the section where this whole guitar section is just pitched down an octave. And that would be a nice section for the vocals to really shine because there's not much high end. So let's get right into the drums. First thing I started with was this kick, and this is what it sounds like with the sample. And I tried to kind of match the rhythm of the guitar with some of the kick hits just to make everything fit together well. Next thing I added was this hi-hat. It's just a simple 2-step. I offset it a little bit off time, as you can see right there. And then I lower the velocity on the second one. So this is what this sounds like together. Nothing really crazy there, it's just a couple 16th note rolls here and there just to give that some variation. Next thing I added was the snare, is what that sounds like all together. There's really nothing to that snare, it's just the little end. I just duplicated it, placed twice right there. Next thing I added was the 808. Last thing I added was just this little perk, really just a little accent transition kind of thing. Washed it out with some Valhalla reverb. Nothing crazy. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Appreciate if you made it all the way to the end of this video. If you want any of my sound kits, link is in the description. Loopstash.com. Don't forget to use the code KXVI30 for 30% off. Don't forget to download the samples down below as well. Subscribe, let me know what you want to see next, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.